So we're talking when they're afflicted with calamity, that a person just, all of a sudden, anxiety grips them, right? Because they're anxious about what's going to happen after. Allah will take care of you. What do you mean what's going to happen after? Number 3, that a person becomes, when they're gripped with difficulty, when things go wrong, that a person has so much, like they're overwhelmed. They have so many emotions. They feel depression to such a degree that they abandon their obligations and they neglect their commitments. So the person thinks that, you know what, I pray 5 times a day and I've been doing it every single day of my life. And yet, this musibah happened to me. This calamity happened to me. So forget this, like, I can't do it. I can't do this anymore. Why did this happen to me? Allah, why did this happen to me? How much do you think the prophets of Allah prayed? You and I pray 5 times a day. They prayed how much? Right? The Prophet of Allah prayed 50 rak'ahs a day. And Nabi ﷺ prayed 50 rak'ahs a day. 5 like you and I do regular prayers. And then the extra nawafil that he did counted and amounted to 50 total. Remember the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ going for Isra and Mi'raj, and Allah SWT instituted 50 rak'ahs. The Prophet ﷺ continued to act on that. He would do it by way of the nawafil and the sunnah prayers. So he will still pray extra. But he went through musibah and difficulty and hardship after hardship. He didn't sit there saying, why did this happen to me? How could this happen to me? Right? But a person who is not accepting of Allah's decree, when they go through difficulty, when they go through hardship, then they're going to say, Allah, I pray to you so much, and then this is what happens to me, forget it, I'm not going to pray. And they don't get up out of there, they lay in bed, they call it bed rotting, the person lays in bed, and it's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying that when you go through a musibah and a hardship, that it's going to be so easy you could just, be like, just spring out of bed, jump out of bed and get to your responsibilities. No, it's tough, it's hard. But you push through it, you get through those difficulties. And by the way, that's also when you learn and you realize that it's not about you. Good thing about difficulties in life is that it teaches you it's not all about you. It's not about nafsi, nafsi, ana, I live in my world, me. The world is there, it's made for me. You know why? Because when you go through one of the most difficult times in your life, and for you it's paralyzing. You're gripped with anxiety. But you look around and everyone else is living their life like normal. They're doing their thing. The earth is still spinning. People are still going to the movies, people are going to get coffee, people are going to get work, people are playing, with their kids outside in the park. People are having fun, and they're smiling and laughing and they're in joy. Even your family is. But you're going through this musibah and this hardship. I should humble you. That should humble me. When we go through that, we realize that, dang, it's not all about me, is it? I'm a part of something much greater than myself. When a person humbles themselves like this, they realize that, okay, I need to turn to the source of my strength, and that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah, give me the ability to get through this difficulty and this hardship. So, a person, they live with another sign of a person considers it to be an injustice. Another sign is that a person lives with regret in their heart because all they're thinking about is, why didn't I get more? Why wasn't I born like this? Why wasn't I born into high society? Why wasn't I born in this country? Why wasn't I born over there? That a person thinks that, as a result of their, unlucky draw, that they were, forced into the situation. And they're always thinking about what could be. I wish I could live that life, I wish I could live that life. That is a clear indication the person is unhappy with what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has decided for them.